No, no problem.
All good.
Yeah.
No questions from me, side. No questions.
No
No.
problem.
Okay, great. So just give me a minute. Let me quickly start the conversation. Okay. So I'm going to search for this manage business unit. Okay. So now this is big shared task. So it is available in multiple function areas. So just click on any one of them. So I'm going to click on this organization structure. But again, in case if you click any of the link also, it directly takes you to the same page. Right? So I click on this manage business unit. Okay. Click on this side. And I'm going to create a new business unit. ABC. And I click on this default and I select enterprise. Okay, this 7 groups. Okay. Okay, there is a functionality called as import export feature. There's a functionality called import export feature. So I'm going to show you when actually we do some configurations, how to load the bulk data, okay, using the spreadsheet. So this is one more option what we have got. So where you can export the data, sample data, and then you can enter the data. Yeah, I'm going to show you that also. Okay. Business unit we have created. Now, once the business unit is created, so what we need to do, you need to do the business assignments. Now, click on business unit, business functions. So I click on this select and add. I'm going to tell you what exactly is this functions. Okay. Let me open this. 1 second, please. Let me stay on this page and explain. Okay. Now, let's say, for example, your company, as I mentioned in the past, right? So if your company is into different businesses or operations, not business, operations, probably you buy material, you sell material, you maintain stock, okay, and you send invoices. All right. So probably these are some of the functions that or operations that your company does, okay, or the company or the client does. So in that scenario, now probably you have multiple locations and or business unit. Let's start using the terminology business units. Okay, now let's say for example, we have India. In India, we got 4 different regions. Let's just give an example: Central, or I can say just East, West, North. So in East India, let's say they have only created requisitions, which means they request for material. That is their primary operations. Okay. But whereas West, they can only create POs. North, this is like central hub, which means they manage everything. They create requests, they create purchase orders, they also can create invoices, let's just say, because this is a head office. Okay. South, they can create only invoices. Probably. Yeah. All the invoices goes from South India. Okay. But East India, right? They can create a request for entire company. Any request, it's any employee that needs some products, some services, right? Only East India department will raise that request. So and so employee needs something, or the company needs some material, or to manufacture something, they need raw material. So all the requests from overall India is consolidated, and probably it is created from East India. West, they take this request and they probably create a purchase orders based on this. They talk to suppliers, they negotiate, and they do that. North, they can manage everything because it is a head office. They have a department where they can create request on behalf of the entire country, and they can also create a purchase orders, and they can also create invoices. South, they are only responsible for creating payables, invoices. Let's say this is a scenario. These are the different operations you can see. What the department does. Now here, in case if you want to control which business unit to do what, these are all controlled by something called as business unit functions. Okay? These are all done by business unit functions. Is it clear? Is this
Yeah,
clear?
Brahma. Yeah.
So in typically what happens in most of the companies, right? So I'm going to select the lecture. Okay. And typically what happens in real time, right? In case if you have multiple, see, this is like central procurement process, or there's something called as central and decentralized business process of procurement, right? Now, if it is central, basically everything is controlled. Decentralized means, certain business units can only create a request, or there is also concept called as service provider in provider relationships. In what exactly this will do, and this is rarely used. Okay, service provider relation. What this does is, if this is your business unit east, which means they only create a request for material. Okay, and the south is your invoices, which means what you can do, you can decide who can be my service provider for creating purchase order, because they cannot create purchase orders. These have to be created a purchase order, right? So you can decide who can create what. So you can create there is relationships, and you can point out to that one. Alright? Is this clear? Are you following what I'm saying? Yes, are you following what
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
saying?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
fine. Okay, fine. Right. So what I'm going to do for now, I'm going to select only material management, payables, and procurement for now. Okay. And sales and enable. Okay. And requisitions receiving. Okay. Now I click on save and close. Make sure in case if you're implementing, you enable this material management. Okay. I click on save and close. Now it's done. Now this is done. Okay. So which means now you created a business unit, then you created business unit functions. Some business unit function. This is completed. Okay. Now there is something called as reference set which will control. Okay. For now, let's park this. When we actually create the customers, then I'm going to show you how this really works. Okay. Now next is my item organizations. So that this you are clear about item organization, right? Last time you have a few questions on this.
No, so it's fine.
It's fine, right? Okay. Manage item organizations. Okay. Now again, it applies for everything. When the moment you search for item organization, right, you see item organization task in different function areas. You can click on anything, but I'm going to click on this item organization, the facilities. Now, when you select it on my left side, see this, it actually points to this. Okay. Now I click on this manage item organizations. So I'll select this as ABC item, or let me see if I have anything ABC. Okay, there is nothing. Okay, I'm going to create quickly. ABC item organization. ABC, okay, that's it. If you want to click anything. Okay. Then click on next. This is a basic item organization setup. But in EBS, we have a lot of options, right? Yeah, so here I'm going to select this one, ABC item organization. That's it. In case if you have any DFF available or anything that you want to create, you can do this. But at this point of time, we don't have anything. Okay, so ABC item organizations. This is completed ABC. This is complete. Okay. Now next time, what I'm going to do, I'm going to create allocations quickly. On done. So the hierarchy is you have business unit, then item organization, then inventory organizations. To create inventory organizations, we need locations. So I'm going to create locations for that. Okay. Create manage locations. Manage locations. Again, you can search from here, or you can also search. Click on this task pane. Click on this search. This is called as global search. Manage locations. Okay. You can search from here. In case if you know the task, if you want to search, you can search it. In case if you know the offering, but if you want to do, you can also click on directly this search and use this marriage. It's the same thing, okay? I'm going to quickly create one location. Yeah. Dallas. Dallas. Dallas warehouse, okay? So currently we don't have inventory organization, so this is optional. Okay. I'm going to quickly enter the locations 1, 3, 4. Last time we had some issues here, right? So okay, it's working now. And I'll make sure this is ship to receiving and build. Okay. Then I click on submit. You get this pop-up, you click on yes. Okay, so just say where is touch? This is complete. Okay. Now, if you see any warehouse, let's say for example,
Uh,
warehouse.
Pramod, in starting we were taking that the example in India we have North India, South, East, and West.
Hmm.
So for this location, let's suppose what we have created Dallas warehouse. So for that, for the previous example, we should create a 4 different locations, right?
Yeah, that's what last time we had. In case if you have multiple warehouses, let's say for example, you have Delhi, you have Chennai, you have Mumbai, 4 different locations. In 4 different locations, these are like say godowns, warehouses, let's say. These are physical godowns, and these 3 different location warehouses have physical locations, which means you have to create 3 locations because to create a warehouse or to create inventory organization, you need a mandatory location field. That is the reason
No,
you have to create.
4 different locations for only warehouses. We are talking about, let's suppose we South India is dealing with that payments or invoices. So
That is
for
business unit. That is not warehouses. Business unit is different. Inventory organization is different. Let's say, for example, you have
God,
east, west, north, south. Let's assume these are your business units. I'm just giving an example. But inventory organizations can be warehouses that are available. Warehouses that are available in that region. Let's say, for example, if you talk about north, I have something in Delhi, something in Mumbai, something in Mara, something in probably Goa. If it is south, Kerala, or Hyderabad, or Chennai. Got it?
Yes.
Bangalore. Which means this is your business unit. Under that, you can have multiple warehouses, right? In case if you want to see this.
Yes.
So, which means if you take this scenario, Kerala. So, which means here Kerala, Hyderabad, Chennai, Bangalore, which means you have four warehouses, four locations.
Okay.
Clear?
Yes.
Manoj, Manohar, is it clear?
Yeah, Pramod. For every warehouse, do we need to create inventory again? I mean, inventory organization.
Okay, I'll tell you that also. Okay, now in this scenario, Kerala, Hyderabad, Chennai, and Bangalore. Let's say they're not, they don't have Oracle now, but currently they have. It's a godowns. It's a godowns. It's a warehouses for them. Okay, Kerala, Hyderabad, Chennai, Bangalore. Now, now in this scenario, these are all warehouses. Now, what exactly they do in these warehouses? Let's say typically, if they're saying they receive, they ship, they maintain stock, and they also does counting. And let's say they also tell you that they have their own planning about stock. These are the operations that happens in this warehouse, Kerala. Okay. Here also they have same thing they do. But there is one more thing in Bangalore. I'm just giving an central Bangalore. I don't know. I'm just giving central Bangalore or central Bangalore, which is close to this one. But there they don't receive. It is just a receiving. They don't do anything else. Just to stop. That's it. They don't ship anything from that location. They just receive the material. And then they move the material from this location to this location. And from here, it does all the shipments. You understand the scenario?
Yes.
Manohar, first
Yeah,
understand this scenario. You
yeah.
have, you have all these warehouses, Kerala, Hyderabad, Chennai, they all have same operations. But there is one more warehouse in Bangalore that receives just warehouse items or stock. It doesn't do anything else there. And from there, probably they just move the material here. That's it. Clear?
Okay.
They don't ship, they don't do anything else. And if you talk about products, this maintains only electronics. Let's say this maintains only mobiles. This maintains electronics and mobiles. Okay, this maintains probably stationery, or I can say fashion products. It's also fashion products. Okay, or you can say this has got all products, including fashion. I'm just giving an example. Warehouses. Now, if you look at this scenario, you have to decide how you want to create this in Oracle. Okay, now this is their current business model or current inventory structure or warehouse structure, how they are currently maintaining the stock. Okay, now the same thing you need to map it to Oracle. How you know how many inventory conditions you have to create? Typically, if you see, right, what they're saying, they're from this warehouse, they're actually shipping the material specifically. And they got their own planning options, and they're also storing different products altogether. Hyderabad has a different one. Chennai has electronics, and this has got all products, which means every warehouse is having its own operations, and they have their own products. These will be created as inventory organizations. Yes, 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 yes. But if you see this last one, they're only receiving the material, they're not doing anything else. They're not shipping. Okay. Clear?
See, if they are receiving only, it means if they will keep it somewhere that the store location is required.
Correct. Correct. But do you want to identify? See, in this scenario, it is just a go down where they just receive the material. They don't receive. They don't maintain any shipment, or they don't perform any shipment or counting. It is just a go down for them to receive any stock from the supplier.
No, see, in go down also, like as per that the process or standard, like how many items we have received. So for that the store location, it means that the inventory is also required for this fourth one, Central Bangalore.
That's
Why
what
we
I'm
are not
telling you.
creating here?
That is what I'm telling you. So now when you create inventory organizations in Oracle, at that
Hmm.
point of time, you need allocation. It's a
Okay.
mandatory. Okay. But if
Hmm.
you're not creating a inventory organization, you don't need to create a location as a mandatory. But you can just tell where exactly is this location available. But not mandatory that you can still this will be considered as a sub inventory, not it will not be an inventory organization. I'm just giving an example how to determine a warehouse or sorry inventory organization in Oracle based on the operation that you do in that inventory organization. Because when you actually go to implementation project, probably
Hmm.
the customer has got multiple warehouses, okay, side by
Hmm.
side also in the same location to the next door also. Probably they have multiple inventory warehouses. So now you need to ask these questions: what exactly you do in this warehouse, in this warehouse, in this one? Then, based on the operations that are performed in the warehouse, then you can decide. And sometimes you can also consolidate it. Clear? Pramod, sorry, Manor and Siddharth.
Yep.
No, you have any questions?
So for sub inventory, Pramod, we are not creating locations, right?
So let's hold on till inventory organization. Then I'll talk
Hmm.
about this warehouse sub inventory.
Okay.
Okay. So
Okay.
not till inventory organizations. Is it clear?
Hmm.
Inventory organizations. Is it clear? Any questions?
Yep.
Okay, fine. So to inventory or organization also, typically what happens in inventory, it's a warehouse, right? Warehouse has got their own timings. Probably the shift starts at let's say 10 o'clock, ends at 6 p.m. Probably in case if it's a factory, this is the first shift. And if it's a second shift, if it's a factory, I'll just give an example. They come at probably 2 p.m. or 2 p.m. and at 12 p.m. Just give an example. If it is a night shift, okay, they'll start at probably 10 a.m., 10 p.m. and end at probably 6 a.m. Just give an example. In case it is a factory, if they are working round the clock, probably they'll have got multiple shifts. Okay, and they have a pattern, which means they may work from Monday to Friday. Saturday, Sundays they're off. Clear? Saturday, Sundays they are, which means any warehouse if you take, right, they have a shift system, work day pattern, and schedules. Basically, clear? Because sometimes what happens, right, you want to ship only on a specific day. You want to ship only on a specific day or receive only on a specific days. Okay, so all these times, right? Now, in case if you are manufacturing something, right, system will tell you how much time it will take. Okay, because let's say for example, typically Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Sunday. Typically, let's say for example, to make one product. Okay, so it takes probably 8 days. 8 days. But in general, what happens, right? It will tell you, right? Okay, if you are placing an order today, let's say today is what 10th September. Okay, 10th September is today's date. Now you got an order and it takes 10 days, 8 days for you to manufacture. If you take 8 days, when you can promise to the customer, I'm just giving a rough example, okay? Today we got an order, 10th September, which means 10, 10 plus 8, which is nothing but 18. Correct? Typically 8 days, if you say. But if you see here, right, I work Monday, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Saturday, Sundays, I'm not working. Let's say the warehouse is closed, which means 6th, 7th, 8th. Clear? So when I can promise today is 10th, 11th. So I'm just giving an example, okay? 15th, 16th, 17th, 18th, which is typically 19th. You will, system will tell you that the product will be ready on 19th. Clear? So it will calculate the days based on your calendar. How many days you work in the company and what days you work and what's the pattern. Based on that, it will tell you and it will promise you. Clear? Just keep it open. Is this clear?
Yeah, Pramod.
Yes, Pramod.
Okay, so let me go. Which means this is 19, 19 Thursday. Which means technically 19th September we can tell. But again, shipping and all that's a different thing. I don't want to get into it, but just in general, I'm telling you what's the usage of calendar. This will tell you when the product will be available, or how much time it will take for you to make the products and everything. Clear? So I'm going to navigate to manage facility. The moment you enter facilities, you will see bunch of tasks.
So Pramod, in here Oracle, everything start with manage, right? Manage
Correct.
item
Correct.
and
I mean, not all. Sometimes you also have option. Yeah, but majority I can say yes. Majority I can say manage, because manage is nothing but it's like create and update.
it's a kind of master.
Not master. The word manage is nothing but what you can create it or you can update it.
Yes.
Okay, that's the reason. Manage facility. So schedule shifts per day pattern. Okay, schedule shift work pattern. I'm going to start with shift. Okay, so I mean this is a demo part, so you see a lot of shifts here. I'll just create one shift quickly. I'll say A, B, C, main shift. Okay, start time is 10. Okay. Probably if I'll say 8 hours, I'm more going to put duration is 8 hours. I'm just use flexible. Okay, let's click on series. So I'm going to enter this one shift. Okay, basically what I'm trying to do here is shift system and support now. Okay, so you can say the start time is basically 10 a.m. and we're going to work 8 hours. Which means the standard shift timings, which we have created. Okay, so it's a shift basically. In case if you have multiple shifts, probably first shift, second shift, third shift, then you are going to create those shifts. Okay, then I click on this done. Then you have pattern. So I'll just open one and I'm going to show you how it looks. So basically you just create a pattern like this and start date, end date, and here you're going to search the shift name, whatever you created. Okay, so I'm going to create quickly one ABC workday at 7 days. And here I click on this plus one 5 days and 5 days because 5 days we are going to work. Shift name, I'm going to use the one that I just created, ABC. Okay, that's it. 7 goes. What we created one shift and we have assigned it to pattern. Then comes your actual schedule, which is nothing but the calendar. This is nothing but the calendar. I'll just click on one, show you. First, then we'll create one. Here, we're going to create the name, description, and effective. What is your effective date and the sequence? That's it. Okay. So, which means this schedule is nothing but your calendar. So, I just mentioned right now we have a timings, which is nothing but your shift. Then you have the pattern, which is nothing but your number of days how you're working. Okay, then you're going to link these two and create a calendar. Click on this. Let's say ABC schedule. You can call it as calendar. Okay, this I'm going to give the start date plus send pattern. If you see right, this pattern is already linked to your shifts. Okay, now click on shift. Yes. So Manohar, in EBS also you have the same concept, correct? Calendars.
Yeah, calendars we have.
Same thing. That is what we are trying to do here.
Mm-hmm.
Terminology is different. There you call as calendars. Here also we have call here we call it as schedules, but the concept itself is same.
Okay.
Okay. So which means what we did first, we created a first shift, then we created a pattern, then we created schedule. Shift is linked to pattern and pattern links to schedule. Clear?
Yeah, bro.
Now I'm going to create schedule. Okay. So here I can say schedule is completed, which is like ABC schedule. Inventory organizations. Now I'm going to create manage inventory organization. This is where you are going to create all your attributes for your warehouse. Okay. Now manage inventory organizations. Now here, this screen will let you search existing inventory organizations, or you can, if you want, you can create a new inventory organizations. Okay. I'm going to create a new inventory organizations. Click on this plus sign. Okay. And I'll call this as balance. Inventory. You can just call it as Dallas warehouse if you want. But terminology is inventory organizations. Okay. Dallas. Okay. Here you have organization. So wherever you see star, which means you are going to create, sorry, you are going to enter that field, which it's a mandatory field. Okay. So Dallas warehouse is my name. Here I'm going to database. Okay. Again, if you see here, there is a limitation how many characters, probably it's 16 in this. Just 18. Okay. So max characters it allows is 18 characters. Okay. Here I'm going to select the business unit that I've created, ABC. Okay. Now here I'm going to select my legal entity. Okay. Now name is nothing but your location, whatever the location that you just created, right? It's nothing but Dara's warehouse location. This is what I've created. Save this location. Okay. And I click on next. Now, if you see here, right? Once you create the main definition, so now look, inventory organizations. Let me remove this. This is your inventory organizations. First, we have a definition. Definition is nothing but what is the name of the organization, what is the organization code, what is the business unit, location, and legal entity. That is called as definition, basic definition. Then you have something called as parameters. Okay, then you call as parameter. In these parameters, you have general, you have lot of serial, and then you have sourcing and additional details. Okay, first one is your general, then you have lot serial, then you got sourcing details, then you got additional information. 4 different tabs here, where you're going to capture 4 different type, information about the inventory operations. Okay, now first one is the general. This is where you capture what is your inventory organization, what is your calendar, and basically you will also consider what is the nature of this warehouse. Okay, here I'm going to select my inventory, sorry, item organization. Item organization. See this item organization. So now, which means now this inventory organization is going to use IMO, sorry, ABC inventory organizations. Now here you have 2 options, definition and organizations. You are going to use definition. What is the purpose of this definition and reference is? Now let's say, for example, in case if you have multiple organizations, you have ABC item organization. Just focus here, okay? You have got Dallas warehouse, and here we got, let's say, I got California. Let's say 2 different warehouses. 2 different warehouses. Let's say, okay. Now, the moment I say ABC item organization, which means I'm going to create items here, and I'm going to assign items to these organizations. All my items are maintained at this level, and I'm going to assign to Dallas and California. Is this clear?
Yes.
Okay. Right. Now, there might be some scenarios, and here, in case if I want to update, I can update, which means in case here also, right? Probably I have this requirement to update something here, update some attributes. I can do this everything here. Reference is nothing but this is a definition. Reference is nothing. You don't have any control. You don't have any control. Whatever items are created, directly it will be assigned, and you cannot update anything. That's something reference will do. So you have to make sure you use the definition organizations. Okay. Schedule. This is what we created. ABC calendar. And time zone. This will determine which time zone you are. Okay. We have something called as locator control, which means in case if you have sub inventories and the sub inventories and locator, sub inventories has again sub locations. Do you want to maintain? Then this is where it controls. Locator means you cannot maintain this. Previously defined means, which means you have to create, you have to make sure locators are available. Dynamic entry, which means on the fly you can create. Locator control at this sub inventory means you can decide probably one sub inventory can locator and the other cannot have. Okay, that you can decide. So I'm going to select this one. Okay. Now there are a lot of attributes. So I'm going to touch base what is actually required, and whenever we have a scenario, I'm going to come back to this the inventory organizations, and I'm going to talk over this. Okay. For now, I'm going to focus few attributes. Okay. Organization is a manufacturing plant, which means do you manufacture or produce, or is it a factory? Then if it is the classification, we are going to enable this. Also, it's not required. If it is just a distribution center where you just receive the product, ship the material, maintain the stock, you don't produce anything, then you don't need anything here. You don't have to check this option. If this warehouse, Dallas warehouse, produce products or it manufactures something, then you're going to enable this. Clear? And let's say, for example, in case if it is a contract manufacturer, if this warehouse is a contract manufacturer, probably in case you are manufacturing this, but actual manufacturer is a different one. So in this scenario, if you have a company, okay, who is a supplier, that supplier maintains all, produces all your products, then what you do, this you just maintain that as a contract manufacturer and you enter the supplier and supply side. Okay, here integrated system in case if you have a third party.
So, Pramod, it means for organization represent a contract manufacturer, it's a kind of work order things, right?
Correct. So in case if it is a manufacturing plant, this means it means that you're going to produce products there.
Yeah. So
Make
work
work
orders
orders.
means we are
Correct.
sending
Work
out.
orders. So work orders. Basically, when you say work order, what is a work order? It will tell you what is it you're going to make. Correct. Now,
Right.
in case if your company itself is making everything, then you just you can enable this option. But if your company doesn't do anything, but you have a supplier who creates all the work orders for you. Okay,
Hmm.
once the work order is created, he does everything for you. Then you're going to enable this option, enable the supplier.
No, see here, as the name suggests, organization represents a contract manufacturer. It means some other companies are giving product to us just to process for one process or dye for, let's suppose for dyeing. So for dyeing or molding only that product is coming to our organization. So I think so it represents that
What is
their
that?
work their work order should come to us, not our work order should is going to somewhere else.
No, let's say for example, contract manufacturer. Let's say for example,
See that the
my
supplier is also there, na? Like when we check over there, then the supplier is coming.
okay. So let's say for example, this is your customer. Okay, he gave you an order to probably he gave you an order to make one machine. This is my requirement. Let's assume. Okay, this is my requirement. So now either I can make in-house, which is nothing but factory. I got my own factory. I can do it. Let's assume. Is clear here till this step? You got a customer order. The order is to make a machinery, small product. You have, let's assume in a scenario, in case if you have the machinery to make the product, you'll make it in-house. Or
Hmm.
if in case if you don't have a machinery, you buy it. If you're a distribution company, you buy it and sell it to the customer. That is one scenario. Or buy and ship customer. This one scenario. First one, you make it, you buy it. Third scenario, probably you don't have the capacity, but you have a contractors who can do for you, which means you have some company, sister company, you can say, sister company who helps you in manufacturing. Clear? In this scenario, what you're saying, right? In this scenario, what you'll do, right? In this scenario, what you'll do, let's say, for example, that company name is, let's say, XYZ Manufacturing. Manufacturing. This is their company. This is their company. Okay, so what you typically write, now you create this as inventory organization. You create this as inventory organization, and here you can just maintain this is a contract manufacturer. Clear? You
Hmm.
create this as the inventory organization, and you create this as a enable this as a contract manufacturer, and you enter this as a enter the supplier details because they are the one who are actually going to make products. This is clear.
Okay.
Okay, that's the purpose. Now, integrated system is nothing but in case if you have it is a warehouse, it is third party, or is it inventory management? This is what you would say. In case if this is a warehouse, warehouse management system, WMS system, then you enable this as a warehouse. so that you can have the integrations. Okay, clear?
Okay.
Okay.
It
Now,
means, see, warehouse management system like Oracle does have different project for that, or like,
so there is a product called as WMS. Okay, just like Oracle Cloud, right? They also have
okay.
something called as Oracle WMS, warehouse
So
management systems.
could you please come down, Pramod? I just
Hmm.
wanted to just see here. It has been mentioned that yeah, in drop down Oracle inventory management. It means it will work for cloud only. It will those data will not go to that the WMS products, right?
Correct, which means it is just a warehouse, whatever you're creating it.
Okay,
In
like,
products.
and until unless we'll not select this third party logistic, then it won't consider in that for the integration.
Correct. So you have 3PL. What is a 3PL does? Third party logistics, what it maintains everything for you. It maintains the stock, it maintains your inventory, it maintains your shipments, everything it does. And finally, it sends the material to you, to your actual warehouse. Correct. So that
Okay.
your stock will know that your warehouse will know how much stock is available.
Okay.
Right. So this inventory organization, what exactly is it? If you select inventory organization, which means typically it's a distribution center, you does all your functions in that warehouse. If it is a warehouse management system, which means this warehouse will is monitored and maintained with the WMS system.
Okay.
Okay. 3PL is third party logistics who maintains all your stock. Okay. Any questions?
So parallelly, it will that all the stock maintenance and all will happen in cloud as well, right?
Correct. Correct.
Like at
Correct.
both place, it will be data get populated and it will like
It's an integration system. Correct. It's an integration system. Whatever the operation that you do in the WMS, right? The same it is integrated to Oracle, and in Oracle it will display that information.
okay.
So which means I'll tell you how it works in real time. In real time, in case if it is a WMS, you have a WMS warehouse, WMS system, you got Oracle Cloud inventory. Okay. Anything that you do, let's say for example, here you receive goods items. Okay. You'll have a sync program. Here it will adjust inventory. Ship here, sync, adjust inventory. Got it? Clear? Anything that you do in this WMS system, it will be interfaced to Oracle, and in Oracle it will tell you. Is it clear? Any questions?
Yeah, clear.
Okay, fine. Next one is lot and serial control. We have a separate session for lot, serial, how we do this, but just what exactly, I'm just giving you, I'll give you the concept. What exactly is lot and serial? Lot is nothing but in case if you're buying some products in bulk, then you maintain that for tracking purpose. Let's say, for example, water bottles, right? So, in case if you're buying water bottles, right, let's say in case if you're a wholesale dealer, okay, and you're buying from a manufacturer, that all products will have a carton box that will have a batch number that will tell you this is a batch number. But anything that has a damage, you can track it. So lot uses is you can track it, you can identify the location, you can see how many quantities are available. That's the purpose of lot. Okay. For now, I'm not enabling any option. When we cover, when we actually get into lot and serial, I'm going to actually come back to the screen and I'm going to show you how we determine this. Okay. So serial is nothing but it's a unique identifier. For each product, you'll have one serial number, which means if you take a laptop, any electronics products, each electronic product will have one identifier, unique identifier number that will tell you what is this product, what is the warranty, or probably it's for tracking purpose, it's for checking whom you are sold for everything. Anything that you want to check information or track that information, you can maintain the serial number. Okay. All your electronic products have the serial numbers in general. Okay. Item sourcing, in case if you want to source this source material for this inventory organization, how you want to source it. In case probably, if you want to use it from different organization or a supplier, which means in case if the stock goes below certain level in this inventory organization, where you want to source it. Is it from a specific organization or it is from the supplier? This is what you typically maintain this information. Okay. And the last one is additional information in case if you want to capture some additional information. Okay. So now these are like custom fields that you want to create. Let's say, for example, if you want to capture nature of the warehouse or probably operator in that warehouse or or any other information that you want to maintain, there is something called as DFS. I'm going to create a DFF for a different on a different screen, and I'm going to show you how to create it. So DFF is a concept that is available. It's called as descriptive flexibles, which is available, which will allow you to capture additional information on a page in Oracle system. So I'm going to talk about DFF and KFF, key flex fields, and DFF in the next session, because we have something called as locators and how to create a structure at that point of time I'm going to show. Okay. Any questions?
No, Pramod.
No, Pramod.
Okay, I'm going to save and close. Okay, so we have completed till inventory organizations. Now we still have lot. There is nothing but you have to create sub inventories and locators. So what I'll do, I'm going to once I'm creating before creating sub inventories, I'll start with flex fields, where I'm going to show you EFF and KFF, flex fields. This I'm going to cover tomorrow. This is done. So initially, these are all your configurations. Once the configurations are done, then we'll start the inventory transactions. Then we'll move on to the transactions, how the material is moved. But at least these are the primary concepts. So I just want to make sure that you understand the scenario configurations. Okay?
Mm.
All right, please. Any questions?
No, Pramod. Only that thing. We are requesting for this one, right? Recordings and all.
But I already told to admin.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, let me do one thing. Let me put a request again today, and but what about the instance access? You got the instance access?
Yeah, we got the instance.
Okay, okay. Videos I'm going to send it today. I'll ask him to send the data details. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks, man.
Thank you, Pramod. Thanks, everyone.
Thank
Thanks.
you. Thank you all. Bye.
Hi, Sunil. Come on over and sit there. They can drop.
Yeah.